We went out to Design Joburg and drew some inspiration from some showcases and installations. We've got one coming up for you. Hopefully you can draw some inspiration as well. Take a look.
Artists, designers and makers met at this year's Design Joburg for another spectacular showcasing of their latest creative work. Inspired by a restless traveller who loves to collect things that make up their space, Nelson Kubeka of Omni Designs brought to life the spirit of a traveller in this sophisticated lounge and study space that fuses together an African and modern style.
Omni Design is an interior design consultancy firm. We specialize in hospitality, corporates, and a bit of residential. This year we're doing a slightly different setup. It's more of a lounge setup combined with a home study area. So the whole story behind it is about someone who travels the world, finds something new, discovers something wherever they go, brings it back home and puts together a space just to inspire those who are back at home about the magical experience of travel. Style is a bit tricky to define because every project is viewed differently, but I would say it's more contemporary with a subtle undertone of African aesthetic fused with classic influences. African elements are quite layered, so you can use that through subtle use of wallpaper or your textures, materials, and how you juxtapose that with clean lines. That's more of a contemporary age, and how you also bring in some of the classical influences like your brass and some of like your leg details that I use around the desk. So how I've introduced color is through artworks, some furniture pieces. If you look at my desk design, how the bookshelf with the desk is quite bright, sort of like a terracotta color, and also on some of the sketches and throws.
Gorgeous timber finishes, accompanied by oak wood and other natural materials and textures, are used in the space, creating a clean and cool aesthetic that is beautifully achieved.
So we've also used some of like your smooth surfaces for your desk, which is more like a Duco smooth finish that's contrasting with the wooden finish of your cranes. So the materials and the textures are introduced in different elements throughout the space. So apart from your fabrics, there's other elements of materials that you've introduced, like your oak woods that's contrasting with your smooth sprayed timber finishes. We've also introduced like a vinyl floor to sort of soften the space up, and you also have some steel finishes that is coming throughout your lighting, the wall lights and your standing lamps. I think SA design is quite versatile. We have a lot of European, with a lot of African aesthetics, so it's fused with a lot of layers. And so we add another touch to the rest of the world, through our use of color, materials, and I think you can see it in fashion, you see it in jewelry. We just add another layer in the design world. How I view South African design, I view it as more of African design, simply because South Africans are part of Africa. So I would say African design as a whole is more bold, it's more expressive, and you can see that through cultural influences, through a bolder use of color, and I think it's quite organic. I think it's quite universal.
Fusing together the complex cultures of South Africa through designs that are both boldly and subtly layered is a theme that lives in the space and through the aesthetics of Omni Designs.